Welcome to episode 5 of Hot Dog Telepathy's short stories. I am, as always, your host for today, Hot Dog Telepathy, and I have a different kind of short story to share with you this time. This is a story of someone that is questioning how he interacts with people post-pandemic. Has the pandemic made him less tolerant of people, or have people become less respectful of each other? There follow 3 short interactions with people that make him question how things have changed. Or is it that he has changed? Join me as we listen to Is It Me?
Is it me? The pandemic did something. I don't know if it's just me or if it affected everyone. Do lots of other people feel like this? Am I less tolerant of people in general, or are people bigger assholes than they were before the pandemic? Did I just become a grumpy old bastard, or did everyone else simply forget what decent human behavior was? We live in a community, and every one of us needs to behave like we have a responsibility to that community. I just don't see people doing that as much anymore. Public transport has always been a place to meet the oddities of humanity. Within your circle of friends or work, you get to know everyone and hopefully accept their eccentricities and weirdness. Public transport is different. Sure, you see the same people every day, spend 30 minutes of your morning with them, then spend another 30 minutes with them on the way home in the afternoon. A cursory nod of the head and possibly a quick morning every now and then. But that's about it, really. We're not friends, but we should have a mutual respect for one another. We are all on that train for a reason, and for the vast majority of us, it's not because we want to be there. Recently, the first thing I do is sit down and grab my headphones and try and drown out the noises of my commute, bury my face in my phone, and listen to a podcast or spend 30 minutes wasted on doom-scrolling socials. There's the girlish chatter and relentless giggles of the 3 women in their 20s that are sitting behind me, talking dribble about what and who they did on the weekend, how they drank too much and spent all of Saturday feeling sick, with some rando they picked up on Friday night still hanging around for breakfast. Ladies, if you don't like waking up with strangers and a hangover, it's not a hard fix. Sure, it's fun while it's happening, but if you're not a fan of the outcomes, it's not hard to put an end to it. Another one regales the group with her story of drunken debauchery from the weekend. This one apparently had a great time, hooked up with a real keeper in the bar's bathroom apparently. The shrill laughter and squeals coming from the group are piercing. I don't care what they got up to. I don't care if they get drunk. I care that I have to listen to the lack of social grace, the lack of consequence, the lack of realization that imbibing so much, so regularly, it takes its toll. It may be just me that doesn't want to hear their stories, but the fact they are talking so loud and squawking at each other, the whole carriage can hear them, just serves to lower my already poor estimation of them. Across the aisle, there's Mr. Sniffy, the dude that's got a cold, or possibly the plague, who knows. He's not got a hanky or a tissue with him, but his nose is running more than the Australian cricket team. It's not just a sniff that you do when there's pollen in the air. No, this is a truly guttural, full-body sniff that sounds so wet and juicy that you think he's going to drown in his own mucus. Literal rivers of fluid sucked back up into the nasal cavity, bubbling and crackling in protest as it goes. Snort after snort, yet the flow can't be stopped. The solution? The man in his 40s reverts to his 5-year-old self and decides the best option is his sleeve. A long, slow wipe from bicep to wrist of his jumper. A snail trail an inch wide and 8 inches long glistens in the morning sun as the train pushes on towards the city. Ah, the city, a high density of humans, all calling out for a slimy, sleeved, infectious sniffer to be paraded around for them to come into contact with. Did we not learn anything from the pandemic about infections, illness, or respiratory care? The train pulls into my station, and I don't get up. I wait until the aisle starts to clear, Mr. Sniffy and the girls depart, and I wait for as many people as possible to get off. I don't want to get too close to the crowd. I walk slowly across the platform towards the escalators, letting people pass me. I know as the escalators exit into the main concourse level, the crowds are funneled into tighter and tighter spaces to exit through the ticket gates. If I time it right, I can get to the gates when the rabble from my train have exited and the next wave of people are still coming. There is a small window where the gates are almost clear. I take my time, pick my moment, and exit. Outside in the open, I feel a little safer. I can distance myself from the others around me if I need to. Today, I stopped to pick up a coffee from the cart near the station. They make a good coffee, nice and strong, the way I like it, and they are super friendly, and I often have a chat with the barista while I wait. There was a few people there today, so I sat on the bench a few meters away, but still within earshot when they call my name. Most of the people milling around chatting and waiting on their order wore business attire. Most just shirts, dress pants, and nice shoes. Some chose ties, others wore full suits. The gentleman, using the term lightly, that sat on the other end of the bench, had shorts, t-shirt, and thongs on his feet. He sat for a minute or two and then dropped his thongs on the floor. He opened his bag and pulled out a pair of nail clippers. It seems that sitting on a bench while people are waiting for coffee is a perfect time to clip your toenails. Who knew? As I sat there just gobsmacked at what was happening, a small piece of nail flew past my head. I turned around and the guy was engrossed in clipping, head down, focused on the task at hand, spreading his toes and bending them to get the best angle for the clippers. I hear another click and a second piece of nail soars past my face. I turn fully to the guy and raise my hands in despair and say, "What the hell, man? You almost got me with that thing. I'm gonna need safety glasses here." He laughs and says sorry, but continues to clip his nails. My name is called, and rather than press the issue, I just grab my coffee and leave. Why? If you are sick, would you come to work? And more so, why would you do it without, at the very least, a tissue? Nail clipping in public. Come on. Surely that's just not right. I can hear you thinking that these are just the outliers. And I am sure they are, but when you see things every single day that make you question the people around you, the outliers start to become the norm. This leaves the civilized, caring, and thoughtful people to be the outliers. We shouldn't be the exception. Caring and thinking of more than just yourself needs to be the rule, not the exception. That's just my 2 cents, of course.
Thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you enjoyed our thought-provoking story. Is it me? Is there something we can take away from this story that will make our interactions with the people around us better? Is there something in our lives we should look at changing? All food for thought. Until next time, stay connected with people around you, stay inspired, and keep embracing the power of storytelling. Thank you again for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Hot Dog Telepathy's Short Stories.